Okay, so the topic this week has been the connectedness of all consciousness and how, from the spiritual angle, there's this trust, faith, belief, experience. We hope that consciousness is seamless. It's one great consciousness from which we are all. Uh, I like the word dollop. I'm a dollop of consciousness. God is all of my consciousness and everything else that I'm not conscious of. And because of that, my little fragment, my little dollop, my little bubble, my little spark of consciousness is eligible and has infinite potential to continuously grow into an ever larger glory and goodness of, well, what do they call it? God consciousness, cosmic consciousness, Christ consciousness, whatever you call it. It's the largest of all available goodness and glory of awareness. And we're all headed in that direction. And wherever we are, we've come a long way. I mean, golly only knows how many there incarnations there were of being, I don't know, a rock, a stone, a frog, who knows? A serf in the Middle Ages, a king in the Egyptian age, a queen in the Renaissance. But here we are today, and I'm feeling like wherever I am today, I'm grateful for where my consciousness is. The other day I heard a fellow say, he said, I'm not I'm not who I'm going to be, but I'm not who I used to be. And I liked it. It represented this idea of continuous, endless growth. More will be revealed. But I'm really feeling the desire myself for a breakthrough. And I usually feel the great desire for breakthrough when I'm really pushing up against. And usually that's some sort of dilemma. It's a problem. It's an issue. And I think we humans are familiar with that. But I'm really trying to train myself into this awareness that a feeling of constriction or constraint or trouble or difficulty is really the harbinger. It's the clarion call of the next great breakthrough. And to, instead of being morose or depressed or downcast by the difficulty that I'm facing, instead to say, woohoo, here it comes. And I know that if I'm diligent in my practice, I know that if I am straightforward and persistent with what I know to do, and I know if I'm willing to take a risk or a chance where I feel the inspiration or the need, that sooner or later every problem has a solution, because whatever problem my small little dollop of consciousness is experiencing in the moment is not a problem for God. This has been a great revelation for me, is that while my problems are overwhelming to me sometimes, God's not up in heaven, so to speak, huddled with his angels saying, oh my God, Greg has run into a dilemma that is unsolvable. My universe is 13.7 billion years old, and one of my kids has finally found a problem that's too big. And I really doubt that. I think God would find that hilarious and amusing. But I do know that every time I've arrived at this point, the diligence, just keep going, keep doing the possible, and that whatever the thing is will give way. And my current membrane of self, so to speak, will soften and then dissolve. And, and then I'll expand out into the new version of me. And so I think I'm on version 14.0.28, and I'm ready for the upgrade, kids. And this gives me great hope. And well, Greg, what's your big dilemma? What's the big thing you're working on right now? Does it even matter? We all have it, and we're all up against it. Migraine headache, being slaughtered by that. But I know there's a solution, and I know that I'm going to engage spiritual principles and try everything I can. And in the meantime, I'm going to be grateful for exactly the way that it is. And each and every one of us listening to this, I think you know that you're a dollop of consciousness, and all of our boundaries and barriers and restraints are coming down. The wall shall come tumbling down. We shall indeed cross Jordan and make it into the promised land, and that will be a great glory for each and every one of us. Some days we move a little more than others. Some days a lot of us all move at once. Some days the Holy Spirit comes down and tickles our fancy in a group. But generally speaking, as the great artist says, Sting, he says, men go crazy in congregation, they generally get better one by one. So one by one, we'll get better. And every time each and every one of us expands our consciousness, we're going to make it far easier for each and every other human on the planet to do the very same thing. So thanks. Great to see you guys. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, and I'd love to talk about the topic of this week. And have a beautiful day. Thanks, my friends.